If you are monetizing on YouTube, it's important that your channel follows YouTube monetization policies. These include policies described below, as well as YouTube's community guidelines, terms of service, copyright, rights clearance adjustment policies, and Google AdSense program policies. These policies apply to anyone in or looking to apply to the YouTube Partner Program. The YouTube Shorts monetization policies also apply if you are monetizing shorts on YouTube. All content monetizing with ads must follow YouTube's advertiser-friendly content guidelines. Here is a quick overview of each major policy. Make sure you read each policy thoroughly, as these policies are used to check if a channel is suitable to monetize. Our reviewers regularly check to see whether monetizing channels follow these policies. Learn more about how we enforce our policies. Keep in mind that when we use the term video on this page, it refers to shorts, long-form videos, and live streaming. These policies apply wherever videos are viewed, including the watch page, pages within YouTube, YouTube Music, or YouTube Kids, the YouTube video player that embeds YouTube content on other sites, and the YouTube Shorts player that makes shorts available. What we check when we review your channel. Our reviewers check content that best represents your channel against our policies. Since our reviewers can't check every video, they may focus on your channel's main theme. Most viewed videos. Newest videos. Biggest proportion of watch time. Video metadata, including titles, thumbnails, and descriptions. The above are just examples of content our reviewers may assess. Note that our reviewers can and may check other parts of your channel to see whether it fully meets our policies. Follow the YouTube community guidelines. These guidelines help keep YouTube a great community for viewers, creators, and advertisers. Anyone on YouTube needs to follow our community guidelines, and any content you post must follow all our community guidelines. Monetizing creators should know that these guidelines apply not only to individual videos, but also to your channel overall. Content that violates YouTube's community guidelines is not eligible for monetization and will be removed from YouTube. Follow AdSense program policies. AdSense allows YouTube partners to get paid for monetizing their videos. Make sure to follow the AdSense program policies and YouTube's terms of service. AdSense content policies are extensive and include quality guidelines from the Webmaster Search Console policies. We have highlighted some of the most relevant policies for YouTube creators below. Repetitious content. Repetitious content refers to channels where the content is so similar, viewers may have trouble spotting the difference between videos on the same channel. This policy is based on the Search Console portion of AdSense program policies. We have put it in a context that's more relevant for YouTube creators. This policy applies to your channel as a whole. In other words, if you have many videos that violate our guidelines, monetization may be removed from your entire channel. What is allowed to monetize? This policy makes sure monetized content offers viewers something appealing and interesting to watch. In other words, if the average viewer can clearly tell that content on your channel differs from video to video, it's fine to monetize. We know many channels create content that follows a similar pattern. What's important is that the substance of each video should be relatively varied. Examples of what is allowed to monetize, including but not limited to: same intro and outro for your videos, but the bulk of your content is different. Similar content, where each video talks specifically about the qualities of the subject you are featuring. Short clips of similar objects edited together where you explain how they are connected. Content that violates this guideline. When a channel's content consists of similar content, it can frustrate viewers who come to YouTube for appealing and interesting videos. That means channels where content is only slightly different from video to video are not allowed to monetize. In other words, your channel shouldn't consist of content that's automatically created or produced using a basic template. Examples of what's not allowed to monetize. This list is not exhaustive. Content that exclusively features readings of other materials you did not originally create, like text from websites or news feeds. Songs modified to change the pitch or speed, but are otherwise identical to the original. Similar repetitive content or mindless content with low educational value, commentary, or narrative. Template, mass-produced, or programmatically generated content. Image slideshows or scrolling text with minimal or no narrative, commentary, or educational value. Reused content. Reused content refers to channels that repurpose someone else's content without adding significant original commentary or educational value. This policy is taken from the AdSense Search Console portion of AdSense program policies. We have put it in a context that's more relevant for YouTube creators. This policy applies to your channel as a whole. In other words, if you have many videos that violate our guidelines, monetization may be removed from your entire channel. What is allowed to monetize? The spirit of this policy is to make sure we are rewarding creators for original and authentic content that adds value to viewers. If you put a funny or thoughtful spin on content you didn't originally create, you have transformed the content in some way. It's fine to have this type of content on your channel, but individual videos may be subject to other policies like copyright. In other words, we allow reused content if viewers can tell that there is a meaningful difference between the original video and your video. Note, while these examples do not violate the reused content monetization policy, other policies, such as copyright, still apply. Examples of what's allowed to monetize, including but not limited to: using clips for a critical review. A scene from a movie where you have rewritten the dialogue and changed the voiceover. Replays of a sports tournament where you explain the moves a competitor did to succeed. Reaction videos where you comment on the original video. Edited footage from other creators where you add a storyline or commentary. Remixed content on shorts where you add original content to a song from our library or the original audio or video segment from other videos. Content that violates this guideline. Taking someone else's content, making minimal changes, and calling it your own original work would be a violation of this guideline. This policy applies even if you have permission from the original creator. Reused content is separate from YouTube's copyright enforcement, which means it's not based on copyright, permission, or fair use. This guideline means sometimes you may not get claims against your content, but your channel may still violate our reused content guidelines. More examples of what's not allowed to monetize. This list is not exhaustive. Clips of moments from your favorite show edited together with little or no narrative. Short videos you compiled from other social media websites. Collections of songs from different artists, even if you have their permission. Content uploaded many times by other creators. Promotion of other people's content, even if you have permission. Quality principles for kids and family content. Our aim is to provide kids and families with a safe and enriching experience on YouTube, while finding new ways to reward creators contributing high-quality content to the platform. If your channel has made for kids content, we will use YouTube's quality principles for kids and family content to determine the monetization status of that content. If a channel is found to have a strong focus on low quality, made for kids content, it may be suspended from the YouTube Partner Program. If an individual video is found to violate these quality principles, it may see limited or no ads. When checking to see if your made for kids content is of low or high quality, nuances and context are important. Visit our best practices for kids and family content page for guides and examples. Application of quality principles for monetization eligibility. There are several low-quality principles that may affect the overall quality of a particular video. We will consider each principle as a factor for monetization eligibility on a rolling basis. We currently enforce against the low-quality principles for kids and family content listed below. We may increase the scope to include more quality principles over time. Encouraging negative behaviors or attitudes, content that encourages dangerous activities, wastefulness, bullying, dishonesty, or a lack of respect for others, e.g. dangerous unsafe pranks, unhealthy eating habits. Heavily commercial or promotional, content that is primarily focused on purchasing products or promoting brands and logos, example, toys and food. It also includes content that is focused on excessive consumerism. Learn more about overly commercial content for YouTube Kids. Deceptively educational, content that claims to have educational value in its title or thumbnail, but actually lacks guidance or explanation, or is not relevant to children. For example, titles or thumbnails that promise to help viewers learn colors or learn numbers, but instead the video features inaccurate info. Hindering comprehension, content that is thoughtless, lacks a cohesive narrative, or is incomprehensible, such as having inaudible audio. This type of video is often the result of mass production or auto-generation. Sensational or misleading, content that is untrue, exaggerated, bizarre, or opinion-based and may confuse a young audience. It might also include keyword stuffing or the practice of using popular keywords of interest to children in a repetitive, altered, or exaggerated way. The keywords may also be used in a way that does not make sense. Creator responsibility. The success of your channel and the YouTube Partner Program is dependent upon the willingness of advertisers to associate their brands with YouTube content. The earnings of all YouTube creators are negatively impacted when advertisers lose trust. We don't allow egregious behavior that has a large negative impact on the community. This policy means you should be respectful of your viewers, your fellow creators, and our advertisers, both on and off YouTube. If you violate this policy, we may temporarily turn off your monetization or terminate your accounts. Learn more about creator responsibility. Creator integrity. We expect creators in the YouTube Partner Program to be who they say they are and not misrepresent themselves by manipulating their on-platform activity or engaging in deceptive practices. This means creators should not artificially inflate a channel's engagement, such as views, subs, likes, watch time, and ad impressions. Similarly, Creators should not encourage organic engagement on non-compliant content before deleting or obfuscating that content for the purpose of becoming eligible for the YouTube Partner Program. Engaging in this type of behavior may result in removal from the YouTube Partner Program or termination of your channels. See our AdSense policy for more info. Creators should also not mislead users or YouTube by participating in financially abusive behaviors, such as using our monetization features for illegal, fraudulent, or deceptive transactions. If you violate this policy, we may remove you from the YouTube Partner Program or terminate your channels. How we will inform you of policy changes. How we enforce YouTube monetization policies. Anyone who earns money on YouTube must follow YouTube's channel monetization policies. If you violate any of our policies, YouTube may take the actions outlined below. Withhold or adjust revenues or payment. Limit ad revenue from your videos. Suspend your participation in the YouTube Partner Program. Suspend or even terminate your YouTube channel. How we will inform you of actions that affect your monetization. How to get help with issues that affect you. If you are in the YouTube Partner Program, you can get access to our creator support team. Whether you are facing a specific problem or you want to find out how to get the most out of YouTube as a creator, we are here to help you. Optimize how you use YouTube. Get tips on technical or service aspects of YouTube. Find out how to navigate policy and copyright guidelines. Get answers on account and channel management questions. Resolve content ID and rights management issues. Troubleshoot and fix bugs or issues with your account.